Okay, we got Hunter Long, Douglas coach, former Wildcat, former Bulldog too, right?
Yeah, correct.
First of all, just talk about what it's like to coach at your alma mater. I mean, what do you like the most about that?
Oh, it's awesome because it kind of brings back all those old memories. And so for me, I always had the dream of going back to my old high school and kind of giving back to the community and help those guys up, kind of the way I was. And so being able to get there and help these kids out, it's definitely a trip because, like I said, it kind of brings back a lot of old memories, but it's been fun, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, so when that job became open, I mean, how eager were you to get it? I mean, were you like, did you pounce on it? Or
yeah, so actually I didn't know it was open, actually.
Okay.
And so Mr. Ortega, our athletic director, he actually contacted me and, checked to see if I was interested in the job, and I said, of course, and so interviewed, and here I am.
So you hadn't been a head coach before, right?
No.
So how much have you learned in these last 3 years?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. The football side of it, that's kind of the easy part. It's just all the back, behind the scenes stuff, all the paperwork and compliance and stuff like that. But,
right.
I got a good support staff, Mr. Ortega, a good administrator, and, he's been able to walk me through all that stuff. So it's been easy. And so now it's kind of just cruising along.
Yeah. So you've had quite an experience so far in your 3 years. You had the first year, then you had COVID last year, and now you're kind of like just started anew, right?
Right.
So what do you like about this team coming off of what you've had to experience last year?
I was actually able to build this team. That's the big thing. My first year here, I think arrived on campus in first week of June. And so, that's already pretty late. And so we got the summer to kind of get some things sorted out. And unfortunately that year we were just marred with injuries. Half our team went down with injuries at some point during the year, and not just little injuries, big injuries.
Right.
So we were pretty devastated there. And then last year, the COVID year, not being able to talk to my players, not to be able to work with my guys again all summer, all spring.
Right.
That was tough. And we just got the one game in, and so it was kind of hard to build that camaraderie and that team chemistry, and just build them in the weight room.
Yeah.
And stuff that you work on in the off season. But this year we were able to start it in about late March. We kind of got going, once everything kind of started settling down. And I think that's been the biggest thing is, being able to be with these guys in and out of the weight room, on the field, in the classroom. It's definitely paid off big time, and we can definitely see it with our guys.
Yeah, number-wise, you said it's better this year, especially in the younger classes.
Right. Yeah. So we're definitely getting a lot of freshmen coming out. Average probably about total we got about 26 varsity guys will probably suit up, maybe about 30 JV guys, and so we're right about our average number. Definitely moving forward, we definitely want to improve upon that, but just got to create that excitement, and now that we're actually playing football again, definitely going to see more in the future.
Yeah, being a player at Douglas and now coaching these guys, how important is that to kind of relay that to them, that experience that you had there?
I think it's big because a lot of people they might come from bigger metropolitan areas, Phoenix, LA, Tucson, even Tucson. They don't necessarily understand what it's like to grow up on the border, in the border region, especially small town Douglas, 15,000 people, and so having that experience of walking the same halls they did, walking the same streets that they did, growing up the same way they did, eating the same foods, the tortillas and beans and everything else, that goes along with it. I think it goes a long way, and so I'm able to build those relationships with my guys, and I had these guys, they're great, and so I just enjoy being around them.
Are there relatives that you're coaching that you played with, or is that?
So actually some families I know, guys that I played with.
Right.
Their younger brothers or cousins, they play now. So that's kind of the interesting thing with small towns. And then, just being familiar with most of the families.
Yeah, it's family.
And, yeah, exactly. And then you get those generational talents, that come over the years. You get, the Roses, for instance, David Rose and Tony Rose, big time names back in the day for Douglas. And I coached his son, Trey Rose, a couple years ago. So it's been interesting.
Great. What do you like most about this team, though? Just overall talent-wise and skill-wise.
Right. So we're definitely not the biggest, but we got guys that compete and they work hard. And the big thing I think is our chemistry. These guys, they're all buddies. They all work together. They're always joking and laughing, and they play for each other. And they play for the coaches and they play for the community. And I think we've gotten a real good buy-in, with kind of the program that we're developing here. And I think that's going to be the big payoff for us.
Yeah. Now, I know you'd like to probably talk about each one of your players, but who are some of the captains or players you're going to rely on the most to lead these guys?
Yeah, so senior-wise, we got Kevin Ibada. He's a running back, linebacker. He's a senior, and he's tough. He's a football player, and we've known that ever since he was a sophomore. He came on sophomore year. Never really had much varsity experience. We kind of threw him out into the fire, and he shined. and you know he was small back then, and so now he's definitely put on some size, gotten a lot more strong, and so he's one of those guys. He's a vocal leader. He's gonna let you know about it.
Right.
Cheesy, I'm sure you met him, or one of our big linemen. He's kind of our big jokester on the team. He's our center, and he holds down that line. You know, the way he goes, the line's gonna go, plain and simple. And you know, he's the one that kind of directs traffic, but he's also the guy that guys can lean on. You know, he's gonna bring everybody up. He's a very positive force. He's very optimistic. And so he just has that really good energy about him. And then lastly, probably Vicente Cardona, another running back linebacker that we have. He's good. Yeah, he's a stud. He's definitely a workhorse. He didn't play tonight. You know, he's kind of nursing a shoulder right now, but he'll be good for week 1. And yeah, he's going to be a beast. And you know, when he talks, people listen, and so he's going to have a good couple years here.
Great. Well, I definitely have to ask you about the U of A, being that you're a former Wildcat and you played for that 2014 Pac-12 South champion. So that was like one of the highs that people have experienced the last 15 years or so.
Right.
And then it just went south after that with and then with the previous coaching staff, and now Jedd Fisch is there. So what do you like about it? I mean, they haven't played a game yet, but there's so much excitement.
Oh, that's just it. I mean, Jedd Fisch, you know, he obviously there's a lot of people that were hesitant. You know, when he got the job, you know, kind of a lot of people didn't know, you know, exactly, you know, a whole lot about him. Everybody was kind of looking for an alumni to get hired on. But he's doing all the right things. You know, he's bringing in a lot of the alumni. He's bringing back a lot of the old traditions, a lot of the history. You know, he's making the athletes aware of the history, you know, not just, you know, seeing their pictures on the wall. He's actually informing and teaching.
Right.
And I think having that history kind of gives you a sense of like, okay, this is the type of toughness we need to bring back. You know, kind of back to that Desert Swarm area, that Desert Swarm era with Brewski and all them guys, you know. And so I think Jedd Fisch is doing a good job of establishing that culture and building that program up. Obviously, you know, it's going to take a couple years, you know, to try and get his feet rolling, I think. But yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement, and he's doing all the right things, and I'm really excited to see what this year is going to bring.
Great. Well, we're excited about seeing you guys play and following you guys, and hopefully have a great season, and best of luck to you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.